Please subscribe math.com and don't forget to hit the bell icon for more video updates.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn another method of solving a system of non-homogeneous linear equation. As we have seen in our previous lecture that you can solve a system of non-homogeneous linear equation by using a Cramer's rule. You can also use a matrix method. You can also use a matrix inverse method, or you can also use a reduced echelon form that we will use in the next few lectures to solve a system of non-homogeneous linear equation. So today we are going to learn about how you can use an echelon form to solve a system of non-homogeneous linear equation. Here we have an example of a system of linear equations where we in terms of three variables x1, x2 and x3, and we have to convert this system into an echelon form. And what is echelon form? Let's see. We have to convert this system of linear equation into an echelon form, and the echelon form is, if I write it in a form 1 0 0 1 0 1 x x x colon x1 x2 and x3. So this is an echelon form in which we have to convert a given system of linear equations in order to find the values of x1, x2 and x3. So what is this form? Let's discuss a little bit, then we will move towards how you can convert this system into an echelon form. So in echelon form, one condition that is must is you must have 1 at this location. This is a must condition. Must have 1 at this location. Second condition is you must have zeros below this one in the column. You must have zeros below this one. This is the second condition. Then you must have a non-zero number in the row below the first row, but that non-zero number must be on the right of this one. So that non-zero number is this. Secondly, the most important thing is you must have 1 at this location. This is the leading entry of the second row, and this leading entry should be at the right of the leading entry of the first row. So it is at the right. Then the elements below this leading entry must be 0. This is also a must condition for the row echelon form. Then again, lastly, we must have 1 here, and these values could be any. Then another thing is in the row echelon form, that a row with all the zeros must be below the row with non-zero entries. So if there is any row that is all the zeros, it should be at the end. This is also an important condition of echelon form. So once you convert this system of non-homogeneous linear equation into this echelon form, then you will get the values of x1, x2 and x3 here. So from here you can easily find what is the value of x1, what is x2 and what is x3. So this, you have to convert this system into this form, and this is a row echelon form. So let's start converting it into the row echelon form by using the row and column operation, but I am just going to use the row operation. So we'll start here as we have to convert, in the step 1 we have to convert this system of this system of non-homogeneous linear equation into the augmented matrix as 1 minus 2 minus 2, then this constant that is minus 1, then 2, then 3, then 1, then constant with the colon sign, then 5, then minus 4, minus 3 and 1. So this is an augmented matrix. Why? Because this matrix consists of a matrix A and a matrix of constants that are on the other side of the equality. So this is an augmented matrix. Now we have to convert this matrix into this form. So how we can convert it? We have to apply the row and column operations on it. So let's start a row operation on it as we are going to apply the row operation. So we can write it as, now one condition is already met here, that we have 1 already here. So what next is, we have to make this entry and this entry as 0. So we have to apply the row operation. So let's see how we can do that. We have to write the first row as it is, 1 minus 2 colon minus 1. Here will be 0. Here we will have 7. Here we will have 5. And here we will have 3, then 0, then 6, then 7, and then 6. Now don't get confused with this, how it comes 0, 0 and what I have done. Let's see. What I have done is I have applied a row operation on the second row. So I have to make the first element of the second row is 0. I have to subtract 2 from the second row. So this can be done by multiplying the first row with 2 and subtracting it from the second row. So what I have done is, new second row will be, we have to subtract the first row from the second row as R2 minus 2 times R1. It means we are multiplying the first row with 2 and subtracting it from the second. And as a result, we will get 0, 7, 5 and 3. So this is the result of this row operation. Then what next is, we have to apply the row operation on the third row as well. For that, we have to subtract the first row by multiplying it with 5 from the third row. So it will be 5R1. So this is the row operation that I have applied on this, and I have got zeros below the first one. Now the next step is, I have to make this 7 as 1, because I already told you that the row echelon form must have 1 here. So let's apply again a row operation here as 1 minus 2. First row will remain as it is, as we need not to apply any operation on it. Then the last row will also remain same. Then we have to make this 7 as 1. So for that purpose, we have to divide this row by 7. So it will be 0, 1, 5 by 7 and 3 by 7. And what next is, we have to make this element as 0. Row operation as, if I write here, one row operation was, we have made row 2 dash as row 2 will be divided by 7. This is the one operation. So what we have done is, we have divided the second row with 7 and we have got the 1 at this location. So the next row operation will be on the third row, as we have to make this element as 0. So for that purpose, let's see what we have to do. We have to multiply the second row with 6 and subtract it from the third row. So what it will be, 1 minus 2 minus 2 minus 1, 0, 1, 5 by 7, 3 by 7, and it will be 0, 0, minus 19 by 7 and minus 24 by 7. And what row operations we have applied here? We have applied R3 dash will be like 6R2 minus R3. So by applying this operation, we will have a change in the third row, and it will be like, we have to multiply the second row with 6 and subtract the third row from it, and we will get 0 at this location. Then again we have to apply a row operation in order to get what? In order to get 1 at this location. So what we have to do is, let's see, 1 minus 2 colon minus 1, then 0, 1, 5 by 7 and 3 by 7. Then the last row will be 0, 0, 1 and 24 by 19. So what we have done here, we have multiplied the row 3 by minus 7 by 19 into row 3. So we will get this form. So here we have to stop, because we have got 1 in the diagonal and zeros below the diagonal, and we have got the row echelon form. Now how we will get the value of x1, x2 and x3 from here? So it is obvious from here that in the last column we have got 1 and 24 by 19. So that means, if I write by using a different color, that means we have the value of x3 equals to what? 24 by 19. Then what about the second row? Second row means we have an equation, that is x2 plus 5 by 7 x3 equals to what? It is equal to 3 by 7. So this is one equation. Then another equation is from the first row, that will be x1 minus 2x2 minus 2x3 equals to minus 1. So these are the three equations that we have got. As we have got the value of x3, we can easily put the value of x3 in this equation, from where we can easily find the value of x2, and finally we can get the value of x1 from this equation. So that's all from this method of solving a system of non-homogeneous linear equation that you can use in order to find the value of x1, x2 and x3. Although this method is long and a little bit hectic, but this is also another method of solving a non-homogeneous linear equation. So in our next lecture we will see how you can find the value of x1, x2 and x3, or how you can solve a system of non-homogeneous linear equation by using a reduced echelon form. So that's all from today's lecture. Thank you.